Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Todd Champion. This is Camping with Champion, and tonight we are camping in the largest cemetery in Alabama. This place has over 80,000 people laid to rest here, and within this cemetery is a place the locals refer to as the Dead Children's Playground. That is right behind me, and this is the area we are going to camp in. I will show you all around the cemetery, the Dead Children's Playground, and how it got its name a little bit later in the video. But for now, I need to get my camp set up before it gets dark, and then I'll give you all the details about this place. This is one of, if not the most suggested idea that I get from subscribers. They want me to go somewhere haunted or a cemetery. Well, this place has both of those things. This cemetery is huge. The playground that is located within the cemetery is known by the locals to be haunted. People have claimed that they've seen ghosts, the swings swinging all by themselves, children laughing when no one is in the park. And we're gonna find out if that's true tonight. I'm gonna go ahead, get my camp set up and everything before it gets dark, but it'll be much harder for me to get set up at night. So here's the playground. Right over that hill is the cemetery, and then this is part of the cemetery. And I wanted to stay on top of that limestone ridge that goes all the way around, but I can't find a way up there. So what I did is I found this little trail going into the woods. And I found a spot in here, which I think will work. Ugh. This is obviously a trail that people have gone down. I'm just hoping that no one goes down it tonight. I've got a little spot already cleared out right here that I think my bivy tent can fit in. So that's where I'm gonna put it. And the children's playground is just right there in between these trees. Hopefully this isn't too hard to get set up in here. I really felt like I was gonna need some camouflaging tonight, so that's why I brought the camo bivy tent, and I also brought my camo netting too. It is hot. It's not as hot as it has been though. I can hear some people talking and whistling. So I think I should go ahead and set up my camo netting around the outside here before I finish setting up this tent. So this is the way in. So I feel like if I set up some camo netting here, you won't be able to see me from the outside of the tree line. We actually had a little bit of a cool front come through here this week. Some days it only got up to like 78, which was great. Should have came out on those days. Still though, it's only about, I think it was 86 the last time I checked the weather, which for this time in the South is not bad. If it wasn't for the humidity, it'd be great. There's a lot of mosquitoes already out, but I'm trying to wait to turn on the thermostat until I come back here. Because after I get this set up, I'm gonna go do some exploring, show you guys around this huge cemetery and tell you all the history behind it and the Dead Children's Playground. Okay. I've got the bivy tent all set up. I even have the rain fly on top of it. And if you're thinking like, why would you do that? Because it's so hot. Are you expecting rain? And the answer is no. There's no rain forecasted for tonight, but there's 80,000 people buried a few feet from me. There's a playground that the locals think is haunted, and they call it the Dead Children's Playground. I'm already scared. It's not even dark yet. So I put this rain fly on there. That way I can crawl in there, zip it up, and pray that nothing comes and gets me during the night. Oh, I bought some cheap baby wipes. Like a lot of you guys have recommended to wipe off all the sweat and stuff, and like my hands, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm just filthy with dirt. So help me freshen up just a bit. Gross. Here's the tent. And I think from a distance, you're not even gonna be able to see it. Have all my stuff on the other side of the tent there. I'm not so worried about people coming from that direction. I don't know this area though, so they could. Okay, we're gonna do a little stealth test. Here's how you get into the woods to my spot. We'll see how far I go before I can truly notice anything. Oh wow, that netting is working perfectly. Okay, now I can see in real life that there's a net there, but at nighttime, oh my gosh, that's gonna be great. This is the Maple Hill Cemetery here in Huntsville, Alabama. And it's not just any normal cemetery. This is the oldest and the largest cemetery in Alabama, with over 800 acres and 80,000 people laid to rest here. Within this cemetery, there are 5 former Alabama governors, 5 U.S. senators, and 10 U.S. congressmen. One of the more famous stories here that I could find, there's supposed to be a crypt called the Rocking Chair Crypt, and supposedly inside there is a single rocking chair, and people say that if you listen closely at night, you can still hear it rocking back and forth. But as of right now, I've been unable to locate it. This place is just so big, and it's getting dark pretty fast. I'm already getting kind of scared. So when the Spanish flu hit in 1918, Huntsville was one of the first cities to report cases of it. The first case was reported on September 25th, 1918. And by October the 5th, the Birmingham News reported that the cases had jumped to over 1,100. On October the 6th, the Alabama governor ordered all public buildings to be closed. That included churches and schools. Within 3 weeks of the first reported case, there were over 25,000 cases. And then by October the 13th, the Birmingham News reported that there was only 1 doctor and 1 pharmacist remaining in Huntsville who hadn't been stricken by the flu. In the end, the Spanish flu ended up killing almost 50 million people worldwide. I watched a lot of videos before I came here, just trying to learn a little bit of the history. And one report said that during the Spanish flu, the streets around the cemetery were lined with horse-drawn buggies or wagons that were just stacked with bodies from people who had died. And somewhere in this cemetery, they built a memorial dedicated to all the people who passed away. And then the original playground was built here inside the cemetery, and that was supposed to be a memorial to all the children who had passed away. At some point, the city wanted to actually tear the playground down so they could expand the cemetery more, but the locals weren't having it, so they let it stay. Or actually, I think they rebuilt a newer one, which is the one we see now. The original one obviously didn't look like the one that's there right now. And not too long after the playground was built, locals started reporting that they would hear children laughing and playing on the swings, and that the swings would move all by themselves. People have claimed they've seen small ghostly spirits of children playing at the playground at night. And that has been going on ever since the playground was built. If you look it up, there's tons of videos of people coming here at night to experience it themselves. I can't believe I'm staying here. I'm actually already pretty nervous. But I usually don't. I'm a pretty big skeptic, so usually these types of things don't affect me, but I'm already feeling pretty weird. That one actually scares me a little bit. I feel like what if it just jumped out at me or something? The sun is setting fast. This cemetery is so big. I've walked a long ways, and I'm trying to get back to my spot before it gets completely dark. And I'm sure it's already pretty much dark inside the woods. We are almost back to the playground. The cemetery stops right here, and then at the top of the hill, sitting right above the cemetery, is the dead children's playground. We are back at the playground, which has a much creepier feel now that it is getting dark. I guess we'll go down here to the playground real quick. Just have a look around and then we'll go into the woods. Maybe I'll just crawl in my tent and hide for the rest of the night. So I didn't see any swings moving or anything yet. And I'm not gonna look behind me right now. Oh my gosh. I'm actually really nervous to be out here. Let me go into the woods here and make sure all my gear is still here. What I wanted to do was to set up like a time lapse on the swings. That way I could just watch it all night and see if anything happens, but it's so dark down there that I don't know if a time lapse would pick anything up. Well, all my stuff is still here. That's good. I am so sweaty. I've got my chair set up. I'm just kind of hanging out here for a minute. I forgot to blow up my dang air mattress before it got dark. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that, because the later it gets, the more strange it will be for a loud noise coming from the cemetery. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and do that. Before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the thermostat, because these mosquitoes are having a feast. There we go. There are people at the park. I can't remember if I locked my car or not. They had flashlights. They're exploring the park. I can hear the swings, so I think they're swinging on them. But they have flashlights and they're just walking around. I could scare them really bad right now. I'm pretty sure it's just some teenagers. I think I may throw a rock over there, try and scare them. Here I go. I'm gonna throw this rock and see if it scares them. I think they're leaving. I think they're all gone. I threw 2 rocks and it didn't scare them, but it shut them up. Like they immediately stopped laughing and joking. And I saw their flashlights going around for about 30 more seconds, and then they made their way back to their car. So I might have successfully scared them off, I don't know. A part of me wanted to start giggling like a little girl just to scare them. Get out of my playground. Oh my gosh. Also, I am very paranoid about inflating my air mattress now. I was just about to start doing it. If they pulled up with that loud noise going on in the woods, well, maybe they wouldn't even have got out of the car. I should probably go ahead and get it done though, before anything else happens. It's actually supposed to get down into the 60s tonight, like 69, so that should be pretty comfortable. I know this is dumb. I know there's people out there right now who are like, you idiot, do not use that air pump, but I can't help it, okay? I'm not pumping this thing up by hand. And I'm about 60% sure there's no one around right now, so. Well, here goes nothing. I'll reduce the volume so this isn't so loud for you guys. 3, 2, 1. I just lost all my air, so my attachment came off, got stuck in the hole, let every bit of air out that I just put in there. And now I got to do it a second time. Ugh. Okay, I've got it aired up. Hopefully no one heard that. I was about to cook, but I need to use the bathroom, and there's a porta potty in the cemetery, so I'm gonna make my way down there. Oh, I almost fell. I have no clue if there is security here at night. I would assume so because it's such a big cemetery. Hopefully this isn't locked up or something. Yeah, pretty clean for a porta potty. I should have just camped in here. This is the part of the night I've been dreading the most. I'm going to explore the dead children's playground at night. I'm actually really scared about this. Let's get this over with. It's insane how actually scared I am right now of a playground. So, like I mentioned earlier, multiple people have claimed that at night they've came down here and saw like orbs or ghosts or these swing sets moving all on their own. So far, we are good. Nothing moving. So when you guys are watching this back, if you catch something that I don't see while I'm down here, let me know. To be perfectly honest, I am hoping I don't see anything. Okay. Everything looks normal to me. I wish you guys could hear my heart racing right now. You would think I was about to go down the hill on a roller coaster or something like that. Okay, I did it. I explored the playground at night. Now I'm going to go up here and start cooking because I am starving. And yes, I brought the beef tips and rice like I said I was going to. I hate cooking though, but I gotta eat, so let's go do that. Back up into my spot. Got this meat. I'm gonna chop it up and cook it along with some boil in the bag rice, and then I have some brown gravy I'll add in, so we will have beef tips and rice. And of course, I have a delicious cherry pie for dessert. So this meat is a lot bigger than I wanted it to be, so I'm gonna use my multi-tool to cut it up into pieces. What I do with it? Yeah, got it. I'm just gonna cut this into small chunks with my multi-tool here. So this is gonna be slow going. I'll bring you guys back once I have this all chopped up. I've got all my meat chopped up, so just trying to clean my hands off a little bit. This isn't a disinfectant wipe, it's just some cheap baby wipes that I picked up, but I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. So as you see, I actually brought 2 different stoves tonight. This one here to cook the meat on. Here's my meat all cut up. And I bought this stove to boil my boil in the bag rice. just to get things done a little bit quicker. I will cook the meat, then I'm going to add the brown gravy mixes in there. This one came open somehow, but I'm going to add this in after I've cooked the meat. Then I'll put the rice in there and we'll be good to go. Oh, you know what? I didn't bring any grease or anything, but I was told that you can use mayonnaise as like cooking oil because it's something like 90% fat or something. So this may be disgusting, but I'm going to try it because I don't have any other option. Now, I did not forget to bring oil because it never even crossed my mind to bring any. So that does not count as forgetting. Dang it. I don't know about this. This doesn't seem ideal, but I've been told that you can cook with it. And I have used it on a grilled cheese sandwich as kind of a butter substitute. So, ow! That burnt all the hair off my knuckles. I can smell just burned hair now. Okay, well, I probably didn't need to bring 2 stoves because I'm going to have to be constantly stirring this to make sure that I don't burn it. I mean, the mayo is helping keeping it from burning instantly. Let's add some water to the rice. That should be enough. And we have to boil the rice for 10 minutes, I think. That's how long you have to boil it on a stove, so. Golly. Got that cooking. Got the rice boiling. I'll bring y'all back when the meat is done and I add the gravy. The mayo is actually working pretty well so far to cook the meat. I don't know about how the flavor is going to be. As y'all know, I don't really like to cook. So I just want you to know I'm only doing this for you guys. It's just I feel like really cooking. I mean, this isn't really cooking. I'm still using instant rice and stuff, but I just feel like really cooking during a step camp just adds a whole nother layer of stress for me. So, but a few more minutes and we'll be able to add the gravy to the beef and then we'll add the rice. These beef tips are done. I just like to give them a little bit of a burned edge to them. I think it tastes better. Did I just say better? Tastes better. Man, I guess the New Yorker came out for a second. I'm just kidding. I have no New Yorker in me. So the rice has been cooking for 7 minutes. I wonder if that's enough. The beef tips are done. They look good. I could eat them just by themselves. I'm not sure how much gravy I need. Probably 1 pack would be fine, but I'd rather have too much gravy than not enough, so I'm going to add some more. The rice actually should be done. I'm going to add some of this rice water in here. Get all the gravy mixed in. Let that cook and let the gravy thicken up. Gonna add some of this seasoned salt, even though I haven't even tasted it yet. Oops, dang, I gotta get something else to put salt in because this thing, the holes are so big, every time I go to use it, I dump a lot in there. The beef tips and rice with brown gravy is done and it kind of just looks like a big goop of dog food. Okay, it's still too hot. I'm gonna let it cool off for a few minutes. So I think I'm gonna let the food cool down a little bit, and while I'm waiting, we will read comments from last week's video. First comment is by Harold Beauchamp 3770. Harold says, Todd, we have to see you eat the cherry pie. At this point, it's as elusive as a Bigfoot. People claim to see it, but we need proof, brother. I'm starting to think some of you are like, maybe, are you going to the bathroom or accidentally skipping forward 10 seconds or something? Because I eat that cherry pie every week, and I have another delicious cherry pie for this week's camp. I can't wait to get through the beef tips and rice just so I can get to that cherry pie. All right, next comment is from Phenomenal Mary 45, and she says, enjoyed your video. Well, thank you very much, Miss Mary. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. At Todd Hill TU3TC, great name. First off, Todd's an excellent name. He says, is that you playing guitar while you're packing up to leave? No, but I actually did record myself playing guitar, but it was like it was a song I wrote, I was singing too, and I put it in right there as just like some background music, and then I was like, no, I'm not leaving that in. So then I just searched on YouTube Studio for just generic acoustic guitar, and that's what I ended up using. At JP-YX2BV, leave 30 minutes earlier, champ. That's always great advice. A lot of times I do feel like I'm getting out of there pretty early. I set the time lapse because I like to, I always want to try and catch the sun coming up, but I hardly ever do. I even have an app on my phone that lets me know where the sun is going to come up at, but for some reason I never catch it. But anyways, that's kind of like when I like to leave, is right as the sun comes up. Like on the water tank one, I got up before the sunrise and I still didn't get out in time. But yeah, I could leave 30 minutes earlier. Tonight, I'm getting out of here as soon as possible. Next comment is Honeybee48012. I'm on a camping trip as we speak, laying in my hammock, watching your video. Now, that's awesome. You're laying in a hammock, watching me lay in a hammock. You know what? I found that some people don't like it when I use a hammock, and I don't understand why. What is the difference? Is it, I don't know, but I get a lot of complaints when I use a hammock. But y'all, it's just so easy. That's why Steve Wallace, get out of here. That's why Steve Wallace uses a hammock a lot of times. It's just so easy. That's why Random Adventure 2.0 uses one. If you're doing stealth camping, there is no better thing to use than a hammock. I love tents, and when it gets wintertime, I'll probably use a tent on every camp. But I like to switch it up. Tonight, I brought a bivy tent because I felt like I needed to be a little more camouflaged. Last week, I brought the hammock because I just thought that would be the easiest thing to do. But I got off subject here. Thank you, Honeybee, for watching the video. Honey, one time, kept harassing me to eat an ice cream sandwich, a dehydrated ice cream sandwich, and I did. And it was very crunchy. Wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either. All right, next comment. At Chill Adventures. That's definitely the same cherry pie since week 4. Laugh out loud. It is not. You know what? I can prove it. Brand new cherry pie. Look at the expiration date on there. That's because that's a new cherry pie. And this cherry pie will not survive the night. Next comment. At Marna Hyatt 5983. Hope you checked for ticks when you got home. Laugh out loud. I did. I for sure did, because I had one crawling on my arm. Luckily, I caught it before it latched onto me, but I definitely checked for ticks when I got home. Ow, what the? My head scraped? It's kind of hurting. At Vibes Yoshi 3471, when are you going to do a video collab with another survivalist? That would be amazing. First of all, Vibes, the fact that you called me a survivalist is crazy. I would die 3 days max in the woods without any supplies. I'm done for. I'm not a survivalist. But if you're just talking about collabs, so I was just talking to Tony from Random Adventures 2.0 just like 2 hours ago about collabs. And I said this on my live stream too, but in the future, like I want to do more collabs with people, but in the future, I want to do where, like, if we get together, let's just use Tony as an example. Me and Tony get together, we film a video for Tony's channel and not a video for his channel and my channel at the same time, because you're kind of getting the same video there. And then after that, we would film a separate video for my channel. That's what I want to do in the future. But to answer your question, I'm always open for collabs. I find that here in the South, there's not as many outdoor YouTubers, which is kind of crazy. When I look at the people like other stealth campers, especially, you have Small Plots. He's in New York. Northwest Wind, Ohio. Sam Bananas, Ohio. Tony, Random Adventures, Pennsylvania. So for some reason, it feels like a lot of stealth campers are all located up in the Northeast. There's another stealth camper I've been watching lately. I'll give him a shout out. He's called Stealth Camper X. He does pretty good stuff, and I want to say is in New Mexico or Arizona, but like I'm saying, it feels like there's no stealth camping YouTubers around here. I hope that answered your question. Okay, y'all, one more comment, and then I'm going to eat. At Ryan Cocker, our family loves your videos. Keep at it, man. We camp weekly as well. Your genuine honesty stands out above other channels. My kids love when you forget stuff. They get a kick out of it because we always forget something too. Last week we had s'mores without chocolate. S'mores without chocolate still sounds pretty good, honestly. But at that point, you could just like dip graham crackers into that marshmallow dip stuff that they sell. But thank y'all. Thank you and your family for watching the videos. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I forgot anything this week. And I actually made a list. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, see? I even made a list this week, guys. There's still 2 things not checked on my list, and that's because steak or beef, rice, and gravy, I had to stop at a grocery store and get it. So I didn't check that off my list because I didn't have it yet. And then soda is not on there because I forgot to put one of the flavored sodas that I have in the refrigerator yesterday or last night. So I didn't have any cold when I went to leave, and I didn't want to drink a hot flavored soda. The one I was going to bring was peanut butter and jelly soda. I'll bring it next week, but I didn't want to drink it hot. I think it's only fair to drink these things cold so you get the best flavor. So I stopped at 2 different stores looking for some kind of soda and could not find one. So I just bought some Milo sweet tea. But yeah, so I don't have a soda for this week. It's completely my fault. It doesn't count as forgetting something though, because that's just something that happened at home. I didn't forget to bring something. All right, y'all. Hopefully this food is cooled down enough. I'm sure the gravy is super thick now. So it's not the most appetizing looking food I've ever seen. Smells good though. It's still really hot. It's really good. Like really good. I cooked a lot of it though. This is a small pot, but I mean, it's not really small. And it is packed full of this food. I'm probably going to end up wasting a lot of this. We'll see. That is so good. If I were to use some quality beef instead of buying the cheapest thing I could find, it would be way better. Honestly, I bought like some stew meat. It was like, I want to say like $4.75 a pound, $5 a pound or something like that. I got a little bit less than a pound of it. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna finish eat my cherry pie, and then I'm gonna crawl into the bivvy. I didn't eat anywhere near all of it, but I knew I wouldn't be able to finish it, so I brought a Tupperware bowl to put it in. Will it still be good by the time I get home tomorrow? Probably around an hour drive to get home from here. I think it'll be fine. I just hope no animals come for it in the middle of the night. It smells pretty good. I've got a mess now. A lot of rice got burned and is stuck on the bottom of the pot. I'm gonna try and clean that up with wet wipes as much as I can. There we go. I am all packed up for the night. I cleaned up my spot as much as I could. I got, you know, the stoves and the little table I was using, all my trash, everything just packed back up into my bag because I just kind of like to have stuff ready to go in the morning. I drank my Milo sweet tea. It's not as good as I remember it being. It's nowhere near sweet enough. I haven't had one in years, so maybe I was just misremembering it. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you my socks. Since I was staying in a scary place, I wore some scary socks. I got these Dracula socks. I made a huge mistake though, because these are ankle socks and I wore them with boots. So the back of my heels have blisters now. But I am going to lay here with this fan on me and try and get some sleep. If anything happens, I'll bring you guys back, but if not, I will see you in the morning. Good morning. It is 5:40. I didn't sleep much last night. I kept waking up. The sun is supposed to come up at 6:01, so I'm going to go ahead, get up, and start packing everything up so I can hopefully be getting out of here right as the sun is fully rising. I can already see light shining in from outside, so I should probably get a move on it. Also, my sleeping mat has lost a lot of air. I can feel the ground beneath me, so I'm guessing I've got a hole in it somewhere, probably from laying it up on top of that water tank. I really should have been putting some kind of ground tarp underneath it, but so I gotta try and find out where that leak is at some point. Anyways, let's get packed up so we can get out of here. Oh, it's already pretty freaking daylight out here. Google said the sun wasn't coming up to 6:01, but it is already pretty much daylight. All right, I gotta get a move on. Got my site all cleaned up and I was just about to leave, but then I noticed I never took my camo netting down. I gotta get that, but other than that, left it just as good as we found it. No harm, no foul. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and bring my bag and stuff to the car, then I'll just come back and grab this camo netting. Car is right where we left it. Got all my stuff packed up and it is time to go. All in all, it wasn't that scary of a camp, to be completely honest. The only time I really felt genuinely like frightened was when I was down at the playground at night, and specifically when I turned around to walk back up. I just had a feeling like I should not turn around and look again. You know what I mean? You ever been outside late at night and you're about to get to your front door and you just had that feeling like someone's behind you? That's what it felt like. But yeah, so I didn't turn around and look. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this week's video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. And I'll see you guys next Friday for another stealth camp. Bye everybody.